22 veterans a day in this country take their own lives. It's a number that's staggering. It's a number we talk about every video. Vets, I love you. I say that all the time because I mean it. One of the great joys of working where I work is we get to thank veterans for their service and get to help them in several ways. Vets, I love you. God knows I do. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. You have a place here. Don't fight this fight alone. There'll be links in the description to help you out. We back the blue over here. We support Leo, all Leo. And again, we're doing a special shout out to corrections officers for the next little bit. How do you do that, Scav? How do you support the law? We don't break the damn law. And finally, if you're an addict, never quit quitting. Well, this has got to be a fast one because I'm on my lunch break, making sure I ain't got food all over my mouth. And I'm going to do a video response to Captain Electra. Now, at the end, there's going to be like a little 10, 11 second clip, and I'll show you the scar. What's the biggest oops I ever had with a knife? Well, I've had two. One was the Spyderco Akuchi. I love that knife. Now, I gave that knife to my boy Sean just as a thank you, and too, I was pissed off. Because I like fidget knives. And I've said that a bunch. I'm the most redundant person on the internet. But I was flipping it one day, and I flipped my Akuchi. It went up in the air, out of my hand, of course, and came straight down on my stomach. Now, thank God I'm losing weight, but it may cause problems in lower areas if I'm not careful. But it stabbed me pretty good. I got a pretty good little scar right here, and that's probably one you'll never see, and let's all be thankful for that. The biggest oops I ever had, though, was with this knife. My Emerson CQC7. Now, I know this thing's beat to hell, and part of the reason this thing's beat to hell, now you also notice that I took away the chisel grind, okay, and kind of and sharpen both sides. Now, I'm not good. I'm thinking that's a saber. This thing's sharp as shit. Now, here's the problem. I was holding it like this one day, and I was doing some work. I had my truck parked in the street. My work truck's parked in the street, and there's a telephone pedestal right here, and I was working on that pedestal, and I had the knife like this, the knife in my hand like this, and I'm stripping some wire. I show y'all that all the time. I do that for a reason, because what we do is we'd strip the wire, connect to it, and then, you know, we'd run the signal or do whatever. But again, I was holding the knife like, I can't see, about like that. If you can imagine, with my thumb on top. When this jackass comes around my truck, I guess that he had to take a second stop and make his turn. I guess that pissed him off and thought it was I was parked in the middle of the road. So as he comes around my truck into these people's yard, I have the knife like this. I look back, I shove the knife forward. You know, you stand up, I'm standing up, the knife punches forward. When it did, it came straight across both of these fingers. It damn near cut this one in twain, and it didn't do a lot of good on this one. Now, I then threw the knife at said car and went on a profanity-laced tirade. Now, all's well that ends well. The problem was my guy JC grabbed my hand, about ripped my finger off, son. Love JC to death, but he about ripped my finger off trying to get a compress on it. But we had some of those. I believe in carrying one of them quick clot bags. I'm gonna tell you something. I got it at the house. I've been wanting to do a video on one anyway. He packed that thing so tight and tied it so tight that by the time I got to the doctor and soaked this thing in Hibiclens for 30 minutes, it did not let go. I wound up not having to get stitches. I mean, you can still see it's pretty good scar there, thanks to that blood clot. But those were the two biggest oops. One was just straight up dumbass, playing with a knife, fingers were wet, flipping at the Akuchi. The other wasn't as much my fault, but I should have had a better grip, or I don't know. But those are my two big oops. Now, let me say this very, very quickly and very, very candidly. I've got a lot of scars. Some are self-inflicted, some are not. That's all I'm going to say about that. I will say this. I will say this: if you are a knife guy and you don't have scars, you ain't a knife guy for long. I'm not saying you're not one. I'm saying be patient, because you can tell a knife guy by the scars on his hands, and it happens all the time. Well, I love y'all. God bless y'all. Cap, I hope this helps. I'm Scab. You're not. Like Mikey says, everything will be okay. We'll catch y'all tomorrow.